Good morning everyone, welcome back to another session. I hope you've all had a good start to the day. Maybe this is the first thing that you're doing today, but welcome nonetheless. Get yourself a ball guys, because we're going to be doing loads of different warm-up skills and then some freestyle skills in the session. So let's get into it. So with the ball, hopefully you've got a little bit of space to train in. You're going to use the sole of the foot, as we've done before, just to jog on top of the ball, just to get yourself warmed up. So use your arms, maybe keep your head up as well, and then you can maybe start to move around the space. Just get yourself loose, get yourself ready for the session, and just get any bad touches away. You might lose the ball, doesn't matter. And you might want to go slow as well, that's equally fine. Just get your body moving, and then we're going to get into some slightly harder tricks. So insides to insides now, we're just going to go instep to instep. Very simple, nice rhythm with the ball. If you fancy a challenge, you can do that Ronaldo skill, behind, and then bring it back in, behind, and then back to the insides. Maybe start to move around the space. Head up as well. And now we're going to go side to side with the sole of the foot. So we're going to get up on our toes if we can do. Nice and wide. You can go quite fast if you want to, or you can go slow. It's up to you. As long as you're here exercising, that's the main thing. But try and push yourself. Don't be taking it too easy. So up on your toes if you can. Okay, good work guys. So keep yourself moving. Now we're going to do the move behind the leg, which is, I always call it the triangle move. So we're going to go back behind and then across like this. Now you can do it really fast, or you can just, whoa, getting ahead of myself. Or you can just walk it through, just dead simply, back, behind, and then switch to your other side. So maybe do 3 on one side. Nearly said 5 then, but I think 3 is a good number. And then once you've done 3, just go on to your other side. 1, 2, 3, and then start to maybe add a little bit of speed. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then if you fancy a challenge, what you can do is string those 2 things together, left to right. So you're going to start on one side and then move straight back to the other. And what you can do with this is a move on the spot that just continues, like with our toe taps. So you're behind, like this. So if I show you from behind, you can actually see the ball is being brought forward ever so slightly. So work to your own level. If you're just about getting used to this one, you can stick to that one. But if you fancy the challenge of left to right, then let's do it. I'm going to mix it up a little bit. A few in my left, a few in my right. Okay guys, so if you fancy another challenge on this particular move, we can do what we call the dummy behind. So it's not really got a particular name. The dummy behind isn't the best name, is it? But what you're going to do is bring it back, and as it passes you're going to stop it and then bring it there. So I'll do that a bit slower. So you're back, behind, stop, and then push it forward. So maybe a couple of normal ones, and then every now and again throw in that little dummy in there. So here, back stop, and then dummy in there. Dummy in there. And now guys, because I've introduced you to a few skills with that move, I want you to freestyle. So moving the ball around the space, you might want to maybe do a few taps, a few drags behind. You might want to do a few dummies. Just keep that ball moving around. And you might even be able to create your own little skills and tricks as you move the ball around. So just focus on your close control, foot speed, coordination, using both feet as well. Just keep that ball moving as much as you can. Maybe go back, remember we did our side to side with the sole. Just keep that ball moving. Okay, hold it there, guys. So now we're going to go into, you might be alarmed because this skill's called the ankle breaker, which is a bit of a warning because, well, you're not going to break your ankle, but if you're not too careful, you can get injured doing it because there's quite a lot of factors that come into play in executing it. So it's all based around this skill, but we're going to jump and grab the ball. Let me do that again for you. So you come around here, and then you jump in. Here, and then jump in. And what this move does is, it enables you to snatch that ball away at the very last second. So if the defender's like kind of getting used to you doing the same skill, you can just pull this out and all of a sudden the ball's moved from one side to the other. So it looks very complicated. The move is simple, but doing it is quite tough. But then once you get it, you'll be able to do it every time. So the first step we've done here, but what you're going to do is let the ball roll. So the ball's just going to continue rolling in that direction. But before you do your final touch, you are going to step with the opposite foot across. Sorry, it's probably not the opposite foot, it's the same foot. It's the same foot that you lead with, not the opposite foot. Sorry guys. So back, behind, across, and then step like that. And what happens is when you pivot, that all happens in one go. So it's 1, 2, and then 3 as you step over. So just practice that in the space at home. And to be honest, that's a move in its own right. Like you can actually just do that move where you're here, and then you turn away. Right, that's a cool move. So don't worry if you can only get to that step, but it's really important that we practice and work through it because we want to take things to the next level. So we're here across and then step. Here across and then step. Here across and then step. Okay, I'm going to jump ahead now to putting all this together, and the move that makes the final take back with the ball, the final drag back, is a jump. So what's going to happen here is you're going to jump. So you've done your step over, and you're kind of in this position here, and what you do is you jump, and it's the same foot that drags it is the one that leaves the ground. That's why it's called the ankle breaker, because you want to land on the edge of the ball. If you land on top of the ball, then it's going to be the ankle breaker, so avoid that. So the way we learn it is just to almost forget the first 2 steps, the drag and the step, and just do the jump. So it's to one side, and with the one leg, all you're going to do is jump like that, clipping it on the edge. So say that's the middle of the ball there, you want to be clipping it like right on the edge here. It might be worth doing it with like a flat ball or a deflated ball because it's probably easier to maneuver, and then you're actually less likely to fall if you actually, jump on top of the ball. So just be very, very careful. It's very helpful as well to do it in like a grass environment if you can, or on an AstroTurf like this. Just try not to do it on concrete. So, well, you want to do it on concrete eventually, but while we're learning, it's fine to do it on soft space. So here, and then out to the side. So naturally what you'll try and do is like put this foot down here, and that's the tough bit. So a good way of sort of getting around that is to lift that foot up and almost play a game with yourself that this foot is not allowed to go down. And then once you're in that position, your aim is to drag that ball from one side to the other without this foot going down. So there's a lot of balance involved as well. So I jump, and then I move the ball like this. So I jump, and I move the ball like this. I'm going to move on because I don't want the session to keep going on. So maybe if you want to master this, pause it, go back, watch it again. But I'm going to do a few more now of all that stuff put together. So ankle breaker, let's go. So here, 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 and then we jump. So 1, 2, 3, 4 into the jump. 1, 2, 3, 4 into the jump. And quite a lot of street soccer players do this quite stylishly. They really jump up high, and it looks amazing because they're using their bodies in ways that maybe footballers haven't used before. So really exaggerate the movement and then bring it back. Exaggerate the movement and then bring it back. And if you are good at that and you can maybe do that, or at least the first 3 steps of it, what you can start to do is freestyle. And what I mean by freestyle is maybe do a little dribble, we drag the ball around, then go into the skill, maybe add something there, maybe go into the turn. So all these little bits that we're learning, whether it be a simple step over or a tap or a drag, they're all like little Lego blocks, and you can put them together in different ways. And that's all freestyle is. Like if you learn to do an around the world, that's like one Lego block, and then if you learn to balance it on your neck, that's another one. And when you've got all these skills put together, that's when it looks amazing because you've learned all these things. So don't worry about the skills, whether they are hard or whether they are easy. It doesn't matter, they all come together eventually, and it's going to make you way more comfortable on the ball in general. So that was the ankle breaker. We're going to take the ball up into the air a little bit. We're going to do a bit of balancing now. So we're going to recap on our foot balance like this, where we're going to hold the ball on our foot. And just to get used to it, you can either drag it up back if you want to. If you want to drag it and you fancy that balance challenge like that, you can do that. Maybe pop it up into your hands. Or if you're just getting used to this one, just place the ball with your hands on your foot. So you have it in your hands, you're just going to sort of twist your, well not twist, bring your toe up and then bend your knee ever so slightly, and then just try and hold it on there like this. So this is like probably the basic balance that we learn in freestyle, just to hold the ball on the foot, flick up, and from there, you know, you can go into kick-ups, you can go into maybe a neck stall. We'll go over that again at some point, but you just want to get used to that holding position, which means that you're in control of the ball at all times, like this. So I'll show you a few variations once you've mastered it, what you can actually go into. So some of these are more advanced, but it'll give you an idea of what you can aim towards. So you've got this one here, which is quite cool, where you sweep the ball back like that. You can start to practice things like this, where the ball is balanced from one side to the other. You've got the Ronaldinho scoop where you go underneath, that's quite a cool one. You've got your around the world as well, so if you can balance it on your foot, you can go into that around the world trick that we've been over before. So there's loads of ways you can improve it, but as a football player, I think it's really nice just to be able to hold the ball still and then continue your kick-ups, because you don't want it to go all over the place, you want it to be stuck to you. So a good practice for you at home is just to practice your kick-ups and then just bring it down like that. So bring it down as if the ball is made of glass. If it hits the ground quite heavily, it's gone. So just bear that in mind. So you can start super simply doing this by just dropping it and then bringing it down. Can you bring it down without the ball bouncing? And the way we do that is we meet the ball high and then we bring it down like this. So you're going to throw it up and then bring it down. Just as comfortable as you can. Now I've been doing this many years, so it probably looks easier than it actually is. Sometimes the ball will go away. Don't worry guys, if you want to take a bit of air out of the ball, that might help as well, just to get that cushion, but really focus on your technique. So it comes down, bring it down, try and balance it if you can, and then back down. So the first one, you're not really bothered about actually balancing it, you just want to get the technique, but I reckon you'll be able to do the balance, to be honest. And what we do with that is we do the same technique, but we hold it, don't let it fall. And the ball will fall eventually, but that's fine, just carry on. So drop it down, cushion, try and hold it. Bad technique from me. I think it's always nicer with a bent knee. There. And then you can build up to that kind of thing where you're actually doing kick-ups, catching it and back again. And then from there, you would maybe go onto your other side. So same technique. You might notice my left foot isn't as good as my right, which it kind of annoys me, but I've got to face the truth, right? I'm going to work on it now. So start again, bring it down to the ground. Start again, down to the ground. Start again, get that cushion in. Remember, exaggerate that movement into the balance or the control, and then you go into the balance, which is a little bit harder, back up again. So let it go, bring it down, whoop, and then pop back up again. So down, up and back, down, up and back. If you want to try something new all around the balance, we can take it up a notch to our knee. And what we do with the knee is just try and balance it there like that. Quite a nice move. You see a lot of freestylers do this one because it's like just a good way of stopping the ball and like showing that you've got complete mastery over it. So again, have the ball in front of you. I always use like my finger just to hold it on there, and then the ball will move. So this is your challenge, is to move with the ball, and then drop it down. And then it's obviously a bit harder, but you can try on your other side as well. For me, that's my left foot. Up, back down again, on the knee, down again. Now I'm going to throw a little skill in there now. This is a really old-fashioned move. It's called the magic knee. And what you're going to do is snap your knee and pop the ball in the air. So the magic knee can be done from kick-ups like this. So you've got the ball, snap it. But I think the best way of learning it is from this position here. So what you're going to do is hold the ball, snap it, and then go into your kick-ups. So you hold it on just with one finger, snap it, and then into your kick-ups. So we go again, finger, snap, and then into your kick-ups like that. Something else you can try from the knee is actually, this one really does rely on coordination, but you'll have the ball here and then you're going to come up with your opposite knee. So it's like you're doing knee kick-ups, but this is a trick in itself. So you're going to bounce it, knee with the opposite foot, and then catch it. And when that's done right, it just looks like that. So you bounce the ball, bring up, a few touches if you can, and then catch it. So here, up, catch it. I used to challenge myself with this one to try and get it onto my neck as well. This one's really hard, but once you've got it, you can play around with your own ways of doing it. Like that. But start with the magic knee, or the knee snap. Knee snap's probably a better name, isn't it? Because it's hardly magic, but it's actually snapping. So let's call it the knee snap. So the knee snap is there. And the knee snap's quite nice from a foot balance as well. So you can just pop it up from there. And then we've got our double touch, which comes up from there. So on the knee, switch it out, and then into your kick-ups like that. So there's a few ways of getting better with your balancing, guys. Remember, it does take time, it takes practice, and there's so many skills that you can learn. What I would say is, obviously do your practice, but always watch other videos as well. So you might check out some of my videos, but you can see other freestylers, other footballers warming up, doing these skills, and just watch how comfortable they are with the ball, and also like how much they enjoy it as well. It's important to enjoy your training, even though you don't always enjoy it. But if you do sort of push through that barrier, then you will get really, really far. So let us know how you get on with those tricks, guys. Remember, keep on going through all the basic stuff, like the warm-up stuff. It's really good just to have that in your locker as a way of getting better with the ball. And when things get easy, just make them a bit faster. Try and do them a bit more often, and you'll keep getting better and better. And like I say, there's freestyle as well. You can start to put some of these tricks together now, whether it be on the floor, in the air. Just start to express yourself, because that's what freestyle, and I would argue that's what football's all about. It's all about having fun, playing with the ball, and if you win, it's great, but as long as you've had a good time, it's all that matters. Have a good day, and I'll see you very, very soon.